right here in Harvard Stadium. Yeah.
What was that like?
That took about a year to produce. This was in the late 70s. In fact, this year is the 40th anniversary of the concert. The concert was called Amandla, which is a Zulu word for the power that gives freedom. And it was in the context of the divestment movement of the 1970s, where the pressure was on to get universities to divest from companies doing business in South Africa. So we got the bright idea that we would do a benefit concert for this movement, and that we would give the proceeds to all the frontline states in Southern Africa. And getting Harvard Stadium was itself a project. The thing that actually put us over the top is that the divestment movement was very strong at Harvard, and Harvard was on the receiving end of a lot of criticism for their investments, and so the pressure was on for Harvard to do something nice. And we capitalized on that. We were able to get the stadium, and then we booked a series of performers who were just outstanding. The headliner turned out to be Bob Marley and the Wailers, although we didn't know that till 3 weeks before the concert. Patti LaBelle was there, Olatunji was there, Eddie Palmieri was there. A local group called the Art of Black Dance and Music was there, and a group from South Africa called Jabula. It was an incredible concert for a number of reasons, one of which was we were warned time and again that you could not produce a multiracial concert like this in Boston without having a race riot. And we thought, of course you can. What are you thinking? So we never doubted that we could do that part. And in order to prove to everyone that we could do that part, we trained our own security force to do security inside the stadium. And we actually negotiated a provision that I am surprised that anybody gave to us, which was that we insisted that there be no police presence inside the stadium, that all security inside the stadium would be conducted by our security team. And for reasons I have yet to understand, they agreed to that. And the concert went off without a hitch. It was a beautiful day. 15,000 people showed up. Everybody had a good time. The worst incidents that happened was fainting from heat stroke. Other than that, it was a banner day.
How'd you get those artists?
God knows. We negotiated with lots of people for a very long time. Two things were key. What's his name? I'm blocking his name. Senior moment. But he's on the poster. The comedian, national comedian, who was very instrumental in helping us to get to artists. His name was Gold. So he provided entree to a number of the artists. And Bob Marley was a holdout for a long time. And the way we finally got Bob Marley is, let me backtrack a little bit, because one of the things that Harvard insisted on was that we produce the concert with a known promoter. And so we formed an alliance with Chester English, who was the owner of a jazz club called Lulu White's, who had been promoting a lot of jazz concerts in the area. And Chester came on as our professional promoter. And the way we got Bob Marley was 3 weeks before the concert, Chester flew to Jamaica and camped out in front of Bob Marley's house for 2 days until he had a chance to talk him into coming to the concert. And that's how we got Bob.
That's insane. What did you learn from that? What was the biggest lesson you took? And how have you applied it to HONK?
The biggest lesson is that you can accomplish incredible stuff with grassroots organizing. I mean, this was a production collective of folks who worked for a whole year for free. I mean, nobody on the production team took money for this concert. All the money went to South Africa. And the other thing I learned is that you really do need to push against the notion that multiracial events don't work in Boston. That was the prevailing notion at the time. That same year, we formed the Rock Against Racism organization and did the same thing. Also, the 40th anniversary of that. And I've taken that idea forward. The other thing we learned in retrospect was that the smartest thing we ever did was make the decision the day before the concert to videotape the concert. We videotaped the concert, and because we made the decision so early, nobody had releases for anybody that we videotaped. So I spent the next literally 30 years negotiating with the Marley family for the sale of the video. And we finally sold the video to the Bob Marley Foundation for $175,000, and we distributed all that money to grassroots organizations on the ground in South Africa. So.
You mentioned that there was the perception that in Boston you couldn't really have cross-cultural or multiracial events. Do you think that's still the case?
I don't think it was ever the case. It's just that people didn't do it because they had that fear. I mean, the historical context for this moment was the busing controversy in Boston. And, that produced racial tension everywhere to the point where people figured you just, can't put groups together without somebody starting trouble. It's not true. Never has been.